Hey friends, it's Laura, and I wanted to record a video today on safe people and unsafe people. So I feel like this is an important topic for people with autism for a few different reasons. One, there is the issue of social anxiety and feeling often fearful in group settings. And I think it's important to kind of discern out what might be based on, I want to say irrational fears, though I don't think that's quite the best way to phrase it. But maybe some misguided thoughts versus what might be actually grounded in reality and might be kind of like a protective mechanism. So how do we discern out where our minds might be being kind of over-vigilant, perhaps a bit too wary, versus just protective in a justifiable way because there's actual danger around. All right. Now, in any case, if you haven't listened to anything I've recorded before, you might notice that I talk slowly. I do have, I think, a slow processing time. It's particularly bad today because of a particular personal trigger that is going on within my body that definitely affects my fluidity of speech. But nonetheless, I'm going to record, I don't know, I can't imagine, I don't like listening to things at a faster speed, but, maybe that would be better for you if it's too much. All right, so here's the deal. I think that all human beings have kind of a built-in detector of who is a safe person for us and who is not. And I am someone that feels things deeply. I have very, very big feelings. I'm very, very sensitive to my environment. Right now, as I am recording this, I literally have my eyes closed because I apparently cannot speak and think with my eyes open because just sitting in the daylight, it's too much. I'm very sensitive to all kinds of sensory input. And I believe that I actually am quite very, very good at picking up on dangerous people. And, I just putting out a theory because this just came to mind. I have heard this before. Essentially, human beings are tribal beings, right? And we live in communities. You might liken it perhaps to a herd, but for the survival of the group, each member has to have certain skill sets. There has to be members of the tribe that are quite fearless, quite bold. They may be willing to go to war. They might be willing to go on a hunt. They might be willing to defend the village against attack. And they're just bold, fearless people. They lead, okay? We need those people. There's other people who perhaps are just, very good at building things. My sense of the population that are autistic is that many of us, or a certain significant proportion of us, might be very good at picking up subtle cues of danger, right? So we are the watchers, we are the observers, we are the ones who are wary. We might be the ones who, when the rest of the tribe is freaking sleeping because they don't have amazing hearing, we with our extra sensitive ears might be the ones to be like, excuse my cursing, but fucking shit, people, wake up! There's a leopard in the forest, or the enemy's about to attack. And if we didn't have this super hearing, the whole tribe would get wiped out, right? Now, you're going to need certain people who are just very social, very good at making friends, and if they were, too cautious about who to be friends with, then the tribe would have issues with trading and bartering and intertribal relations, right? But you might need a person in the background who is like taking everything in that a human being is offering and determining whether or not that person is actually a safe person or not a safe person, right? So is this person going to be the warrior leader? Is this person going to be the one who creates the most cohesion amongst the tribe? Because obviously cohesion and unity amongst the tribe is going to be extremely important for the survival of the tribe. Probably not, right? Because there is this skill set where there is like maybe an innate lack of trust, where that wariness is going to prevent a certain level of cohesion, right? So okay, here's a theory, just an idea. Maybe there's that segment of the autistic population who has pretty severe social anxiety, but it is a passed on trait to keep members of the tribe safe from either outsiders or even insiders that might prove to be dangerous, right? Maybe we would be advisors to the leaders. Hey, watch your back on this person. I noticed this, So, first off, I guess I'm going to say this is a desirable skill. This is something good. This is a way that you can protect yourself. And I think, yes, trust it. Because you're probably right? You're probably right. Can you really think of a time where you were like, shit, this person, I don't know about this person, and it turned out like you were completely wrong? Maybe that's happened to you. I'm not sure that's happened to me. I'd have to really think about it. But if I would at least say that most of the time, my sense of wariness about certain individuals turns out to be well-founded. And I think in particular, picking up on different micro cues that other people just do not notice. They don't notice they don't notice the tones. They don't notice the microfacial expressions. They are not picking up on the manipulation. They're not putting together the patterns of behavior as quickly, succinctly as perhaps the ones that are doing most of the observation in the group. So here is where I think, holy crap, does it become a problem for me? Because I will pick up on cues of individuals who I'm like, oh dear, this person is not a good person. And nobody else seems to notice this, you know? When that person is in the group, right? I don't feel safe in the group at all. Now, I think this has a lot to do with the fact that I don't know how this happens, but I generally find I pick up on them, but they also pick up on me. And in particular, I feel targeted by them. And I have had instances, and I have kind of read enough or listened to enough other autistic people talk about their experiences socially that I think this is a common experience where you will be part of a group setting and you can feel animosity from a certain individual, and that individual will not only try to take you down themselves, but they will also try to have the entire group turn against you. Now, I have heard people say that this is because they can pick up on the abnormal micro behaviors of the autistic person, that like we're immediately identified as being not normal, and therefore we are a danger to the group. And therefore they want to remove us from the group to protect the group. I'm just going to posit something a little bit different, because I think that the differences of the autistic person perform a protective mechanism for the group. And it is therefore important probably for most large groups to have a couple of autistic people to perform that protective function. And I think this, instead of it being that autistic person is weird, therefore let's get rid of them because they're a danger and they're going to bring sickness. What if it is, the autistic person sees me. I know they can see me. They see right through me. They know what I am up to. And I am going to remove them because they are a danger to me and my agenda, whatever agenda that might be. Usually a self-serving, manipulative agenda. And I think it often will have something to do with the typical hierarchical games that are common amongst neurotypical individuals. All right, so I really went off on that and kind of bringing it back to, all right, what does this have to do with like safety, right? So, all right, are these individuals unsafe for us? Yes. I can tell you though, I've had experiences where these individuals it feels scary to be around them because I think the threat is that they're going to turn everyone against you, which can happen. And then it just becomes like the whole vibe does not feel good and you just don't want to be a part of it. But I want to posit that it is often the case and very possible that is not how it turns out. How it turns out is that eventually this person is really unveiled for their true colors, and it's not you who will be kicked out of the group, but them. And you just kind of have to stay the course. And to remember that not everyone in the group is against you. And I think that is where you do have to be careful about feelings of paranoia. Because that is where I think sometimes our protective function can misfire into thinking like everybody is like this dark person and this dark person has everybody under their command. I think often that's not the case, and you have to kind of trust that people will see through them, and do trust that if you're a good and kind person, that you aren't going to be uniformly disliked. There are people that like you. I think it's dangerous to say that everybody dislikes autistic people, or that we're just destined to be social outcasts. I think we have a role to play within group situations. I think we can be very valued in those situations, or just valued in general in communities. And yes, there's going to be certain individuals who will target us, but it doesn't necessarily mean the majority. And I think we do have to be mindful not to go down a rabbit hole that everyone is against us. I think there is some tricky thinking in that that might be misguided. Thank you for listening.